Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about Expedia. I have an inside guy that used to work for Expedia that's going to give us some assistance. I've done the best I can to assist you guys with traveling and traveling safe for the past almost 6 years. Whoa, 6 years as of Memorial Day. Wow, 6 years ago today, I started in Medellin, Colombia, walking up to Sweet Georgia Cafe today, 6 years ago, and it just dawned on me. Anyway, today we're talking about Expedia, and you know this has to do with my dramatic trip to Toronto a few weeks ago. But today, again, I have a special guest that is from the inside. Again, I've done the best I could to assist you guys with traveling and traveling safe for the past 6 years now. But every time I run into a situation where I needed assistance, you guys have stepped up. And again, today is no different. I have a viewer. Sean is going to step up today, but I also am going to have a part two also. And the part two is going to be even more in depth. So let's just jump into the interview right away. Okay, guys, I told you I had a special guest. Today I have Sean. Sean is one of our viewers. He is just like you and just like a bunch of you other guys who have reached out to give me assistance when I needed it. Sean has stepped up right now. Sean happens to be in Texas and Houston, and we just never could run into each other because we're both running all around the city. But I have a few questions. This video, again, is about Expedia and the drama and trauma that I'm having to continue to go through as of today. So I want to jump through the story. I'm going to go in and tell you what happened to me for those who didn't see it, and I'm going to ask Sean some questions if you're cool with that. Sean, you want to introduce yourself right quick?
Hey everybody, I'm a big fan and viewer of Rob, so that's why I'm known the channel. And I love to travel, love to explore the world. And I had an opportunity to work with a bunch of different online travel agencies. So my experience, I'd like to share with you guys and, talk about my knowledge.
Excellent. And if there's anybody else out there that has any information, that you worked there before or you had the same issue, again, reach out, dcbornrob@gmail.com. But let me step in what I have a few organized messages. We want to try to keep this to less than 30 minutes because I know attention spans are short, guys. Okay, so let me start with this. Let me start with my section. Okay, but let's start traveling. And I want to talk. I want to put out there again. Expedia sucks. I want to put that out there. That's my personal belief. And again, what I'm having to go through, I don't want you guys to have to go through that. So I want to make sure that this knowledge gets shared today. With Sean's knowledge gets shared today. So let me ask you this, right quick. What's your history with the companies such as Expedia, or Priceline, or whomever?
Yes, so my background is I worked there and I started out as a floor agent. Then I transitioned to the training department, and then I went up to be a senior trainer to a training manager. So I had an opportunity to where I could, literally work my way up. I learned the system, then I mastered it, and then I transitioned to helping others do the same as well, not just domestically, but overseas. So I was very familiar with the business model and how to relay the information to others. We had a big presence in the Philippines, Latin America, and in the Caribbean.
Okay, what's a floor agent? What exactly is their job
So,
description?
no, great question. So a floor agent would be somebody or a frontline agent. They would deal with the customer calling in. They have a general question, like something on the website's not clear. Maybe the description doesn't have all the full details as far as parking, maybe certain amenities they're looking for, or if they can put in a special request, they just want clarification. So an agent can give that information and they can advise them and proceed with the transaction.
Okay, so even the person on the phone, if you were doing it, the person on the phone could actually book the travel for them while they're on the phone.
100%.
Okay. Okay. So out of all the online travel agencies, these are known as OTAs, online travel agencies. Which one do you think is the best and why?
Great. So I'm basing everything off of, my experience, also based off what a customer would experience. And I, observing you, Rob, it seems like everything was good until it doesn't go well. So that's the big difference between the ones that people have good experiences with and the ones that don't. People go through and they book assuming nothing goes wrong. And it's for the most part, to give you a little bit of insight with these companies, the customer care departments are really small. They're like less than 5% of the bookings they deal with. So 95% of the time, if not more, everything's not a problem. But when it is a problem, it's a problem. And you can attest to that, right? So what separates them, if you look, and this is not just me, if you go to site jabber.com and Trustpilot, where people give reviews for these OTAs, the company that has the best review, a current 4.7, is Booking.com. And simply why? Because they have the most user-friendly, flexible cancellation policy. That's it.
Okay. Well, my next question was, what do you think is the best? And out of all of them, what that you're aware of, which one would you say is the best and why?
That's a fair question. Okay. So, you know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So I like, Latin America. I like going to, hostels. And like I know recently you went to Guatemala, Antigua, Guatemala. Booking.com is perfect for that. Like I went to Cartagena in January. I booked with Booking.com and it was great. Now, I know I said before about booking directly. Sometimes you can't find these locations directly. I know the place that I use for Cartagena, you can go to their website, but it's really hard to find. You only would know to go there if you know it by name. But it's organized. The platform is very user friendly. You can actually put information down. They don't prepay it. It's very flexible cancellation policy. You can cancel 24 hours, 48 hours before, you arrive. You have great communication with the property directly. So it's literally like it's a hub for all these properties for you to find them easier. And it's a flexible cancellation policy. There's no stress to put your money down. You just put your card down. And in fact, you can even work it to where you can change your card when you get there. So Booking.com has an excellent platform. And keep in mind, I never worked for them. So, for me to say that, I'm saying from the standpoint of a consumer and also from the standpoint of somebody that has had feedback from other people. I mean, the one thing that I dealt with, because I did, the training, I dealt with the sales agents, the people that take calls that come in, but also people that have questions from customer care, like things didn't go well, maybe it wasn't articulated correctly, maybe their booking didn't arrive to the hotel. And that's something too we can get into, because sometimes the system might be delayed. The person might be checking in before the system is updated. So a lot of things can happen. It's small, but when you're in the heat of the moment and you're looking to, enjoy your experience, it can really impact everything.
Exactly. One last question before I switch it up a bit. Are the I just want to know this. Are the Expedia rooms or any other OTAs are their rooms secondary to a regular room? Because I'm gonna tell you, I've used Expedia quite a bit over the years, just trying to accrue some points. And the fact that you do get some perks sometimes once you get that high. My ex used to be way high, so wherever we went, I mean, we had a upgrade in a room, or we got a cabana instead of a basic room. But are the rooms from Expedia in the back, in the basement? Because it seems like you don't get the same choices when you walk up and as opposed to walking up and booking or just going straight to the hotel's website. Do you think it's any difference?
Well, that's a fair question. So it depends on what's negotiated in the deal. So like they say, the art of the deal and you're in sales. So a lot of these properties they have negotiated where they're going for bulk value. To keep this something in mind, okay? So not to get into the numbers, I don't want people to fall asleep, but a property's not making money unless it's at like 60% capacity. So that's where OTAs come in and that's where they benefit from. They need headcount. So what they're looking for is like, they want to understand their clientele, the people that come in there. Not only the person going to come there, but are they going to utilize the services of the property? Are they going to use the restaurant? Are they going to use, maybe the spa they have on site? Those things matter because that ends up in their bottom line, their dollar of what they need to make. So regardless of where they are in the world, every property has to make 60%. That's why OTAs exist anyway, because they fill that gap. They're telling you, hey, if you give us this discount, if you give us these perks and availability and access, we can help you meet your goal. So, help me help you kind of thing. Also taking a step further. Okay. So some properties, it's all negotiated by the market manager. So for example, if you're the market manager of Colombia and your job was to get the deals in Colombia. So if they're not good rooms, it's because Rob didn't negotiate the best rooms for his clients for the OTA. So it's on Rob. So it's like not just the individual company, but it's the entity that negotiates it. So for example, let's say you have a real good relationship with the Embassy Suites in Cartagena, right? I know how much you love Cartagena, right? So So let's
Okay.
say, for example, you got a great deal there and they love you. They love some Rob. They love that smile. And they say, hey, if you go ahead and give us, a baseline number, we can get at least this many head count, let's say 500, head of the month, right? We'll go ahead and we'll throw in free breakfast for the people that book with you, and we'll give you this rate, and we'll take this margin because they negotiate the margin. But here's the thing: if you have so much value, they're going to give you a better margin, and they're going to be willing to give you more amenities. So it's not automatic that an OTA is going to get the worst of the worst. And a lot of times they get the best. And then keep in mind, like I said, for example, when I gave the booking.com, some of these smaller properties, no one's going to know who they are unless they have the OTA. So they can't have the luxury of holding back. So again, it's case by case. So what I tell people from my experience is mine, because I have a preference. I like Latin America. I like, traveling to the Caribbean. So booking.com works for me. But if you talk to somebody else, they would say trip.com is more catered towards Asia, right? So you have to kind of know your market. And here's another thing too, okay? So, and I feel your pain when you said, book directly. Now, let's say this could happen. And I don't want this to happen to you because you're a good guy, Rob, and I don't want this to happen to anybody in your audience. Let's say, for example, you want to book a hotel in Medellin, right there in Poblado, and it's perfectly located. It's right there, and you have to be there. You mean the client, everything's perfect, but you can only book through Expedia. What do you do at that point, right? What if that's your only option? So what you want to do is, at that point, you want to make a decision. Is it I'm saving money? Is it, what is my biggest concern? If your issue is like, saving money, then yeah, you want to probably go with the OTA. But sometimes you don't even have that option because the OTA is the only one to go with. So we don't want to say, don't go with this one or that one. But what if the say is, which is documented, and it's not me or you saying one thing or the other. Yes, you had the experience, but this is documented from other people with the reviews on SiteJabber and trustpilot.com. They have a 1.2 because they do have no flexibility with the cancellation policies. So where I would use Expedia or any OTA, preferably as far as hotel only, would be if that's the only way I can get to a specific property. It's the same day check-in, and it's going to be non-refundable anyway. If it's further out, it's probably in your best interest to go with the hotel directly as much as possible if you have to be at a specific location and you have more options to select from. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah, this is a lot. Now, first of all, before I even continue, do you agree to sitting down with me again for another meeting? Because we're going to run out of time shortly.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's an honor, man. I'm glad you're willing to talk to me. And in fact, I'll clear all my obligations. It's all about Rob and the Rob universe, the Rob audience. Well, I don't know what you call your viewers, but thank you.
No, hey, I appreciate it. I'm sure they do too. So hopefully they get some benefit of it. I need you guys in the comment section if you're getting benefit out of this and you're looking forward to the next one, because I only well, actually 15 minutes exactly, but I'm going to try to get through as much as possible, because if you're not familiar with what I'm having to go through right now, I want to touch on just the beginning part where I had to deal with Expedia. So I booked the trip to Expedia. To Toronto via Expedia, and the reason I did is because I wanted to bundle the flight and the hotel together. I got a better price. I priced it separately, and I do this myself for all my travel. So it may take me an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I'm picky, and I want things to go right. And in travel, for business, when carrying luggage and work equipment, things have to go right. There's like 100 to 150 things that need to go right. This one, not so much. So anyway, I drove into Toronto for 2 hours from the airport. And I don't know if you've been to Toronto, but it's like driving in Manhattan. Don't do that. Okay, don't ever do that. I did it, didn't know any better. To a hotel, that just texted me the whole time. Let me digress a second. I got a text the night before saying, you need to send us a copy of your credit card, front and back, and your ID. I'm like, well, who the hell is this? Just out of the blue. So I ignored it. I started laying back down because I know I got to get up at 3 a.m. It's like 10 o'clock at night. So I lay down and I say, wait a minute. And all of a sudden I got a text 30 minutes later. It says, I'm from the hotel. I sent you a text from another number. Are you going to send it? I'm like, what? This is last minute sending the call. Let me just go ahead. So I'm up at 10 o'clock at night, sending in a copy of front and back. It wouldn't go through their little app deal, but There was one thing that was missing. It wouldn't allow me to send, but I was able to send the credit card and my picture. They received it. So then anyway, now I'm in Toronto. I've driven for 2 hours in traffic. I get to the hotel and they're telling me that there's a $550 cash deposit that must be wired to them. So I travel for a living again. I've traveled all around the world. I don't know, 20, 25 different countries. And I'm at 34 states right now in the US. So I travel for a living. I book for a living. I do all this myself. I've been doing this for myself the entire time. So I've never heard of a place asking me for a credit card and then going to ask me for $550 a cash deposit. Oh, if you don't have Zelle, you can wire it through Western Union or some other. So anyway, that's my predicament. So I got to scramble because now I got to find another hotel. So I had to drive another hour and a half back because traffic was better to get up to the airport to get a room for that night. And then the rest of the trip went downhill. Other than my show, my event went well. Business-wise went well. But outside of that, I didn't make it back on time. They broke my equipment. It was luggage. My equipment was, I had to wait 2 days to get it back. It was just hell. I had to stay another night, flight canceled. It was just mayhem, but I don't put that on Expedia. I put that on me. But the Expedia part is what I wanted to get that piece of the story out. So as I switch things up, now Expedia is saying that they're not going to help me with this because it is in their ad. Now, I don't read every little line detail in every ad because it's a hotel. It's a hotel. To me, it's a hotel. You check in, you book. I don't want your breakfast because I don't need breakfast. I just want to just book a nice, safe, clean hotel. That's all. But Expedia is saying that they won't help me. So my point of view is they've now received a copy of my business credit card front and back. What's that for? If not for a deposit. What is that for? If it's not for a deposit. Why would they ask for my credit card if it's not for a deposit? I don't get why they're not standing behind this, standing behind me, their customer. Expedia is not standing behind their customer. So again, they want to fight. I got the rest of my life and I got time that I will put forward to it too. So if they want to fight, I'm going to cost them way more than if they'd just paid the whatever $400 or reimburse my company, because that's what it's about. I got this thing about being fair. You can say I'm getting hyped up right now. I don't know if you can tell. I
can feel it, man. I can feel your energy. You're starting to glow, brother.
Oh, you should have heard me yesterday. I talked to 3 supervisors yesterday, and you should have heard me. I get hyped up because I'm reading this. It was traumatic. I was traumatized that week. I was sick for the whole week. Anyway, so since they won't answer this one, why would they ask now? I mean, my whole thing is, why would they ask for cash to be wired if they asked for my credit card the night before and they have it and they know they can use it? So I've gone to the Better Business Bureau. The Business Bureau is saying that we can't help you because Expedia said that they have it in writing. So my question to you is, am I right or wrong? Well, I know I'm right. Well, I think I'm right. But you tell me, what's my best way to proceed?
Okay, for your best way to proceed is, you said you already contacted the Better Business Bureau. You let them know, and they said, unfortunately, there's nothing you could do at this point. What I would do is just be very transparent. The information that is relayed on the website is not clear. I did, go through it. I did understand when I go through the transaction. I've made transactions for you before. Let them know that you've done transactions before. You're a valued customer. And, this is not, you would have to agree, this is not a normal process to go through. This type of deposit that doesn't include the card. And it gave me a bad experience, and let them know and be transparent. Like, this has caused me not to just not deal with you, but, not deal with this property no more. And let them know that. Because here's the thing, okay, to clarify. When you said you're their client, right? Because you're the customer. But think about how OTA is set up, right? Their customer is actually it's the hotel. The people who put the information on their website is the hotel. So Expedia is just enforcing their rules, so that way they're protecting one another. So yeah, you are valued, but you gotta let them know, as far as like how you fit in the.
Okay, guys, had some technical issues towards the end. Not sure whose Wi-Fi it was, doesn't matter. I have more information and more important information to discuss with Sean in part 2, which should be in a couple of days. So hopefully you get benefit out of this. Let me know if you make it to the end. I need to know which one of you guys made it to the end of this video. There's more information coming soon. please, please follow up. It is important. Again, I do not want anyone else to have to go through what I'm currently going through now. And it is not just Expedia. There are other situations that you're going to run into, whether it's the airlines, the hotels, or some of these other third parties. They are going to put you on the back burner. And it's my goal to make sure that I and my viewers are of utmost importance. And I want to make sure that I and the viewers do not have this issue in the future, that we are in the forefront of all these guys' minds. They will not forget about me. I promise you. I am emailing every couple of days. So this will not go away. The fight is on. Let's see what happens. Okay, guys, you're up to date with the latest. Look out for part 2. Look out for part 2. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Thanks for hitting like. Thanks for hitting like. dcbornrob.
So, hey, girl, thanks for coming by my place.
No worries. You mind if our girlfriend can come by with us?
Hell no. This is why I watch DC Rob. Headed to Medellin, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.